Hey, welcome to Compassion Masters TV, where we share our lives because you matter. We're your host. I'm Miss Toy, here with my son Layton.
What's going on, everybody? Thanks again for another episode.
So, son, my first experience with suicide happened back in the 1980s. It was a very handsome, chocolatey, dark, if you like that kind of stuff, but okay, you don't like it. Anyway, he was very handsome. My point is, it doesn't matter how smart you are or how much money you make. If your insides are not settled or you're not happy with your insides, you don't want to live. So the subject today, we're going to talk about learning styles, because it's important that everybody knows that we all learn differently, and I think that's where a lot of the bullying comes in.
What the heck kind of transition was that?
Wasn't good.
You from suicide to learning styles?
I said.
I think maybe you just lost me.
Okay.
I just want to make
what
sure
I'm talking
that
about,
they're following too, because that went from chocolatey.
Well,
whatever,
the reason why I said chocolatey, because he's so good look. I mean, he was really good, like model good.
So you're
looking.
Saying that you're saying
I'm saying
okay,
none of that mattered.
Okay,
because obviously he wasn't happy inside, so he killed himself.
Right.
In the 80s, that was my experience. So I'm thinking that I started focusing on self-esteem and how you care about yourself, and all that became relevant because of that experience was devastating.
Yeah.
Many more doctors have also taken their lives. That wasn't the only one, by the way. So I'm saying that because I really think it's important that parents understand how important it is to let your child be who they are, and don't try to make them be something you want them to be. And then that's very important. Mm-hmm. And I look at you and how artistic you are, and I look at you being an entrepreneur and how uncomfortable that would make a lot of parents. Thank God my father was an entrepreneur, and he owned his own moving company. He owned his own rental properties. He was an entrepreneur.
Yeah, but why do you think parents are uncomfortable with them being entrepreneurs or entrepreneurship in general?
I think in general it's so risky, and it is. You have to be able to really handle yourself and manage money, and I think it's just risky. And I think parents take a more safe route. Mm-hmm. Like if you become a doctor or a lawyer, at least I know you got a paycheck coming in. You don't have to worry about the money. It's there. So I'm believing.
Yeah, but I feel like that's risky also, because even with those positions, we need those, kind of people all around the world, but you're still not guaranteed a job when you get out, and now you're hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt.
Yeah.
And you have to do all this work, years' work,
it's true,
just to get yourself to be making money. I mean, You're paying all this stuff off. I remember hearing about a friend of mine who had he had like $200,000 in student loans, and I'm just like, that just sounds dumb to me, but to other people that makes sense. Just like entrepreneurship probably sounds weird to somebody else, but anyways. I just wanted to know what you thought was the reason why parents.
The good thing, my parents
towards that way.
I know my father confided in me that he really wanted to be a doctor, but back in the day he couldn't afford it. So I remember him going to the L.A. County Fair after I passed the state boards, and he brought me a little plaque that said "Nurse Toy." I still have it. He was so proud of me that I became a nurse. Now, the good thing that my mom did was she allowed me to become a volunteer to see, do I really like that? So I was a volunteer at age 14. I loved passing water and talking to people, so I knew I was in the right place. I think we should do that. I think that's important.
It's definitely important that you let your kids taste things
Try
first.
It. Yeah.
I was just talking to a parent about that this morning after I finished teaching, and I teach skateboarding for anybody who doesn't know. And we finished the class, and she was just talking about how his name's Ace, and how, Ace doesn't really take to many sports, and that he's really excited every week when we get to meet and all that stuff. And that was exciting for me because, he enjoys hanging out with me and enjoys skating, and that's something that she says she doesn't see too often in him. So that's nice.
Yeah.
But then we got into a conversation about talking about trying things out and how I told her that you put me in a bunch of things
Yeah.
when I was little. Oftentimes I didn't want to do it, but
Yeah.
just to try it out. Ended up being good for me just to say that I tried it. If I didn't like it, whatever, who cares? And that's it. And you just move on. And so if skateboarding isn't or wasn't for him, then you just keep going. So it's just trying things out. I actually didn't like skateboarding in the beginning. When I was a little kid, I liked scootering. I thought skating was dumb.
Yeah.
And then a buddy of mine got one. I got a skateboard, and I was like, I wanted to do it because of him. And 13 years later, I'm still doing it. So, anyways, just trying things out. So yeah, that's true.
And I want the parents to not be afraid to let your child try different things. That's all I'm saying. Because you may have it in your head that you want them to become something you weren't able to become. And you will face this with your daughter. She will want to do something. I'm grateful. Shout out to my nephew, Roy Harvey. He went to my mother, who was your grandmother you never got to meet, and told her that he wanted her to talk to his father, who was her son, because he wanted to become a fireman. And for whatever reason, he didn't think that was a good avenue to go down. I don't know why. My mother talked him into, let him try, if he really wants to do it. And then my nephew he's retired now. Shout out to Roy for his first retirement year. He became a battalion chief. He went to the highest ranking of firemen. He was a captain. He had such a lucrative, great career. Wouldn't have happened had he just went into a field that maybe his father felt more comfortable having. I have always supported you no matter what you'd wanted to do, even if people say, no, he need to just get a 9-to-5. Well, no, I don't agree with that.
Yeah, 9 to 5 is prison anyways. I don't even know why that's,
I'm a 9-to-5 and I like it.
You don't work a 9 to 5. No, you
don't.
Well,
I work and for a paycheck.
Okay, well, everybody works for a paycheck.
True. But at least I'm in the field that I like.
Yeah, exactly. You like what you're doing. People are settling, and that's where it poisons the rest of your life. And I don't have time for that.
I've heard people
people spend more time at work than they do at home. So if you think of like that and you don't like what you're doing, you're spending most of your life over there doing it anyway. So why are you not happy? I don't know. Whatever you do is going to be work, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you want to be a doctor or a lawyer, whether you want to do whatever, these and all of these things, for comparing them, as far as making it as being an entrepreneur, it takes at least 10 plus years to, start seeing some real big things happening. Same thing with, being a doctor or lawyer. Tons of years of schooling and everything. It just takes time. Anything takes time. Anything takes work.
True.
I just don't like when people, the whole world is in a box and it's supposed to be one way. Anyways, we see a shift in that, and entrepreneurship's becoming more cool, and I kind of wish that it wasn't like it used to be, because now everyone wants to do it, and that's just now it's like when I say that I want to have my own businesses or whatever, people are like, oh, that's cool, you're an entrepreneur, and like, oh yeah, my son, everyone does it now, and it's like, so anyways. Everything's changed. School was a popular thing. It still is, but, it's becoming less and less. Like, oh, they don't need to go to college or whatever.
Well, I think
it always changes.
People are realizing that you putting your kids in all these years of college and they come out and don't have a job. But they
finally they're realizing that. That's been going on. I mean, that's how it works. It takes time to even realize these things and make these changes. But that's why I try and tell whatever kids I'm teaching, just, first of all, you have to find out what you like, and you'll probably end up being good at it because you like it. And if you're not good at it, you like it enough to keep trying and get good. So you should be happy and have fun, because life's too short.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know. I see people getting stuck. I have friends of mine that get stuck doing the same thing, and I feel sad for them, because they could be so much happier.
I agree with that. I was just saying, I think that as parents, we need to allow our children to explore who they really are, what they enjoy doing, because it does make a difference how you make your money. Yes, it does take time, but it doesn't feel as bad when you're doing something you enjoy doing.
Yeah.
So that's all I'm saying. And then I wanted to highlight some of the things that you've made, because I can't do it. I have 2 degrees, and I can't make some of the stuff that you've made by hand without a pattern. I can't. So that vest, oh my God, that duffel bag and the wallet, and then you made you and your daughter matching outfits without a pattern. Now, that's something I have never. I've sewn. I'm creative now. Don't get me wrong.
Oh gosh.
I'm good. But without a pattern, that's something I have never done.
Yeah, it's a lot of frustration. It doesn't just come and freestyle it and it happens first try. It takes a lot, but thank you, number one. But yeah, just having fun. It's just fun. That's
when I watch you doing it, it looks like you enjoying yourself. I mean, because you can spend hours and hours and hours doing that. Some people would have given up, or they wouldn't have even tried. Yeah. So I can tell you enjoy it. I can tell you enjoy it.
Well, thank you. I brought the wallet just so you can show it, because I figured you were going to ask about it. Anyways, this is what the wallet looks like.
Oh,
so nice. That took, I don't know, I think it was, once I learned how to do it, it only took me like 30 minutes to do, but it took so much fabric ruining stuff and over and over again, just and like messing up, and then, okay, I redo it. So anyways, it's just having fun with things. I like I like creating things and sewing and making clothes. Being colorful and all that stuff. So it's just having fun.
Yeah. So what we're going to talk about today, family, is the differences in us and how we learn, because I really do believe that's where bullying comes from, because you don't understand that the other person is just not like you. And you may have a cookie cutter what is perfect to you, what makes the ideal person. And I'm trying to highlight that there are way more people with different qualifications in this world. And so
I'm not following up. Wait, what?
There are
I get that part.
Okay,
but
the different
what are we talking about?
Learning styles.
So why did you say
now
bullying?
The reason why did I say what?
Bullying.
Because the bullying comes from somebody not understanding that your style is different than theirs. Like, you may be like goofing off, playing around in the classroom because you're more of I'm about to tell you the differences.
Oh gosh.
Now in the bottom,
we're not about to go over your list.
I'm in the comment section. I'm going to list this book because Kathy Duffy is on to it. When I read it now, I had it when I taught you at home, but I went through about 4 different curriculums. You didn't know, because all I did was just go through it and next, this ain't the right one, next, until I figured out which one best fit you. You didn't do well with the classes that you look on the computer and do the homework. Those didn't match your style. So ended up, I had to piece together yours. Meaning,
you piece it together, but like you said, you start off first learning what the kid is, how they learn, what they feel comfortable with.
Right.
There's, people who
nurses
are doers.
Always start with an assessment.
Yeah, but you have to figure out, are they doers? Like, they want to go outside, they want to do something with their hands, they want to make something, create. They want to. What do they do? Or do they like?
Right.
Do they like sitting at desk and feeling like they're being taught something, or can they have a photographic memory? Like, can they just look at a paper and they remember? Like, it just, everyone's different. But
that's what I'm saying.
Right.
Everybody's different.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes we put everybody in a box, like you say, and we want them to be the way my neighbor's child is.
Well, people try. Like, public schools have their certain way. That's, as far as I'm concerned, like the bottom of the barrel, like bare minimum. The teachers just do what they can to get by.
Yeah, of course.
In my opinion, because it's public school, they have too many kids to focus on. And then, there's Montessori's where they know that the kids are, they're a little bit more hands-on. They focus on that learning style and teaching them that way. And there's different kinds of schools, so people try. But when you're homeschooling, or in this case, when everyone's quarantined and kids aren't allowed to go back to school and they're just learning online, then you have to figure out, how do I keep them invested, because it's just too hard.
Right.
I have a sister-in-law.
So I want to highlight.
I have a sister-in-law who's a teacher, and she says she has to be twice as energetic on the computer because just to keep the kids' attention because
I believe it.
And that sucks. So
I believe it. But I want to highlight your style. What I think is your style. You tell me what you disagree.
We're not going over the list.
I want to.
Let's go over yours.
Because
let's talk about
you. Want to go on my list?
No,
okay,
never mind. I was just kidding. I didn't think you were
going to
have a list. I didn't think you were going to. No, I didn't think you would
I'm
have
a
one.
competent Carl. Okay, so Miss Duffy made everybody little cute names, and it doesn't matter if it's a boy name or a girl name, it's still applying to the style. Now, I'm a competent Carl even now today. They like to control themselves and their surroundings. They're analytical, and they like to understand. You know I like that. That's why you probably get annoyed with me, because our styles are different. I like to understand, explain, and predict. I like to do that kind of stuff. It probably gets on your nerves.
Yeah, you like to do all that. And you also like to cut people off. And you like, you know what? No, let's just keep it. Let's keep it.
Problem solving is something.
Keep this off air.
Something that he enjoys. Problem solving. They're motivated and enjoy long-term independent projects. They value wisdom and intelligence. Subject areas that they're strong in, math and science. I have 2 degrees in science. I love it. And you wouldn't love that.
Gosh.
Everybody doesn't love science. I do.
Yeah.
On the other hand, their social skills tend to be weak. And I enjoy socializing. However, I also enjoy just being at home by myself. So it also says, because of this, sometimes simply by choice, they enjoy solitary activity. Now, the reason why I'm pointing that out to you is because I notice sometimes you even probably get a little like, Mom, why you ain't going to, why you don't have no friends? I haven't had, your whole life, I've never had a bunch of friends come over, ever. I got friends back from, y'all done heard me shout them out from kindergarten. We maintain good friendships. But I'm not the kind of person that has to have somebody over all the time to validate myself. I enjoy my own company. A lot of people like to just be out, have fun, free, talk to people. I don't have to have that.
All right.
So the Wiggly Woolies, which you didn't want to list, but I want to mention them because they're hands-on learners. And sometimes they're labeled as ADHD. And I know we're hearing that a lot in our boys, and what they're saying is they just not meant for the traditional classroom. Mm-hmm. Traditional classroom is more just sitting down and just watch what I'm talking and you learn it. And that's not for everybody. And so it's important for us to realize that those boys can be difficult to motivate, or girls.
Not really. They just need, they're more hands-on. That's it.
Right.
Like if you want to really teach
them
something.
So what I was going to say is if they're doing something they enjoy doing, then you don't have no problem motivating. Mm-hmm. What you have a problem motivating them is if you want them to do something you want them to do and they don't want to learn it.
Mm-hmm. Letting you finish.
So, well, go on, interject if you got something you want to say. But I'm only going over those 2 styles.
I think
you're
that
also
you see
a sociable
lists.
soup, but
you see what I'm saying?
I'm not
you
done.
You can't say nothing. I know you're not done. You're never done. So I think that with this list, it's accurate. I mean, but a lot of the times I think you're reading these lists and you want it to be right. And so you're like, oh, that is right. That's true. Because I think there are differences.
You think I'm not intelligent enough to know that don't apply to me?
That's not a diss. I wasn't saying you're not intelligent enough. I'm just saying I think that you want it to be something or relatable a little bit more than it actually is. Because I think there's a little bit, you got some differences. Like, yeah, you have some things that works. So, yeah, I get it. I agree with. But then there's some where I'm like, no, you're not.
Well, that's your opinion. When I read it, I was more of a competent Carl. I met all the criteria except for the one that they say you don't understand people's emotions, because I'm very good at that.
Oh, gosh. After you light them on fire once again, then you want to come back and understand and come to the rescue. But first, who is the one who mentally and verbally abused them in the first place? And then you want to come save the day.
Well, maybe. But the point I'm trying to make is
exactly.
Let's respect each other's differences. That's all I want to say.
Okay, that's a cap.
I'm done with this subject. I really am. Unless you have something else you want to say?
Nope.
Nothing else? Okay.
Nope.
Don't forget, you guys, make time to vote Wash your hands.
Yep.
Stay distant from people. Wear your mask.
Yep. Subscribe. Buy the book. Oh,
Yes. You guys know. Thank you to my son, Layton.
Okay. You're making it awkward.
Why? Because I said thank you?
No, because I know you want to say something else, but you're not.
No, I really don't. I'm good. Listen, I don't have to say something all the time. I'm learning and I'm growing. Did I tell you that? I'm learning and I'm growing.
I know. You tell me
I don't have to make
every
a comment
day.
about every single thing. So tap the bell to subscribe, y'all.
Okay.
And you'll be notified of our next show. Thank you for joining us. We're going to change the world. Have a peaceful day.
Or take it easy, everybody.